Hi, brother. Okay, guys, welcome to the McManus MMA YouTube channel. So, basically, this is the second time I had to record this video because my mic was not on the first time, but that's okay. So, we're going over the UFC Fight Night in Rio, Oliveira versus Gamrot. Balance is restored. Let's talk about it from top to bottom, starting off with the best news, period. Charles Oliveira versus Mateus Gamrot. Bro, let me tell you. If you're new to this channel, which you have to be because it's the first video, let me tell you something. Charles Oliveira is my favorite. I love Charles Oliveira. I have a huge poster right in front of me right now, right behind my PC setup, of him after knocking out Beneil Dariush in UFC 289, where he's pointing at himself. So awesome. I love Charles Oliveira. I have two badass Charles shirts. Charles Oliveira merch everywhere, bro. I love this guy. Oh, I love Charles Oliveira. So seeing him bounce back with the Ilia Topuria blessing after being killed in front of my eyes. Yes, I was in the building for 317 and I witnessed my hero get killed. It was the worst day of my life. I cried in front of like 500 people and they were all like douche Topuria fans and they were patting me on the back like, oh, ay, 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 ay. I hate you guys. But yes, Charles Oliveira went and got it done. Everybody was counting him out. Biggest blasphemous thing I've ever seen in my entire life is having the odds be pick'em. Are you out of your mind? Are you kidding me? This is bullshit. That's what I said. Number one bullshit. Charles Oliveira submits Mateus Gamrot in the second round. Holy shit. I was jumping up and down. My two roommates who were watching, and then my third roommate went to bed because he was grumpy. But we were, I was jumping up and down, screaming, like cheering. I was wearing my new badass shirt. I'll put a picture of the shirt right there. You can see it. It's a badass shirt. So I was wearing this badass shirt for Charles Oliveira, and he got it done. He got it done. He submitted Gamrot with like a neck crank or like a rear naked choke, I think is what they're calling it. But it looked like it wasn't under. And Oliveira looked really good. He looked really good. He looked like prime Oliveira again. I may be glazing. I may be tweaking. I may be like full psychosis. I, but I'm telling you, he looked really good. He took some power shots. He got stung, I think, once there, but I mean that's Oliveira. He plays possum. He gets hit and he goes, I'm fine. So to see him pull it off in his home country, I mean, they should have known when he walked out and he gave his lucky rock to his dad, I think. That's how you should have known. It was wraps. Gamrot was over. If you bet on Gamrot or you want a Gamrot to win, you're a schmuck. I don't want to hear a single person that was like, dude, we got to get Gamrot in the high ranks, bro. That'd be awesome. Kick rocks. You're a bum. Oliveira, he, I don't think he can be champion again. I mean, I'd love to see that. If Ilia Topuria moves up and we have like a Sarukian rematch, because call me glazing, call me whatever, but I think he kind of won that fight on UFC 300 against Sarukian. If they do a rematch, or whoever, if Dan Hooker miraculously, chins Sarukian in their fight night, and that's the fight, it's Hooker versus Oliveira. Oliveira wins that, bro. Let's do that. Get Charles Oliveira the belt back. That would be the greatest shit ever. So yeah, that was the greatest moment ever. I spun my girlfriend around, we cheered, and then it was so good. What made it even better? Immediately after we went and got some Taco Bell. I can't think of a better way to celebrate a Charles Oliveira W than the cheesy gordita crunch, watching that shitty ass Peacemaker finale, and some smiling friends with my smiling friends. So moving back to the fight prior, we got Figgy versus Montel Jackson. Dude, what was this? Montel Jackson, everybody was hyping this up. I was watching some tape. I was like, Montel Jackson might actually kill Figgy. I don't want Figgy to lose. I like Figgy a lot. I like him. I was telling my roommates they're more bigger casuals than me. They don't watch at all. They don't watch the prelims. They don't do none of this. I was telling them, I was like, guys, Figgy's awesome. He's a champion. He's got the God of War hair. Awesome. They were like, let's see it. This is gonna be an awesome fight. And it was 3 rounds of circling around and Montel Jackson not using his reach advantage and Figueiredo just slipping in and slapping him across the chin, and then that was it. And I was like, okay, cool. Figgy wins. I'm not upset per se, but like, I don't know. And then, dude, what the hell? The one judge who gave Montel Jackson that fight, dude, let's draw and quarter him. Let's get that guy out of here. Are we serious? I don't know how we're watching the same fights. Speaking of the same fights, speaking of barn burning fights, Vicente Luque versus Joel Alvarez, bro, what a barn burner. Holy cow, a little brother fight to the extreme. I knew Vicente Luque was getting killed, and instead he humped his leg like a little shih tzu, and Alvarez just had to sit there and go, okay, I guess I win. So, what the hell? You know what? For that Vicente Luque, when he goes home and he's like, oh, I really thought I got that done. I really thought I got that done. Pelt him with frozen grapes to his back. Whoosh, whoosh. Maybe like spit boba balls on his face or something. He needs to be like in timeout. That was embarrassing. That was the most embarrassing little brother fight ever. Horrible. Horrible. All my roommates were like, "What the fuck is this?" I was in the same thing. I was like, "Get this out of here. This is this is horrible." Oh, I gotta take a drink of water. Edit this out. Moving on. Honestly, pretty damn good performance that I'm honestly looking forward to his future fights. Mario Pinto versus Joanta Diniz. Diniz. Diniz was the betting favorite, and Pinto went out there and beat the shit out of him. It was awesome. I don't know how to describe a fight. He just dominated, completely dominated on the ground and standing, and then TKO'd him. So let's go. Mario Pinto looked really good. I'm looking forward to seeing what he's got next. I mean, congrats to him. He absolutely killed it. Moving on, Ricardo Ramos versus Con Offley. Con Offley, let's go. He was my parlay. Let's go. No strikes thrown in this goddamn fight. This was a hump fest on the ground and then rear naked choke. Cool, bro. Cool. And then for Can Offley to have the audacity to be like, yeah, I'm glad I got done here in Brazil. You guys all blow. I really want to cuss at you guys right now when they're all booing him. Dude, you're in Brazil and you're smack talking the Brazilians. Bro, don't come into my house and complain that it smells. I fart in my house all I want. Get out of here. But actually, that was great. That was a great fight. The 3 minutes of it, it was awesome. Karen Offley, rear naked choke. Thank you for the parlay. Moving on to Michael Aswell versus Lucas Almeida. Bro. Yeah. Lucas Almeida. Good night, buddy. See ya. Victory by punches. Yeah, I would assume that's how you win fights. Nice job, Michael Aswell. You punched him and you won. It was awesome. Yeah, dude, he just got absolutely outstriked and outclassed. Lucas Almeida did. And, congrats to Michael Aswell. I don't know what you want me to say. He just beat the brakes off this guy. It wasn't even a fight, it was a science experiment. Like bug fights. Put a scorpion in with a hydraulic press and see what wins. Okay, I'm gonna take a bet and say the hydraulic press is gonna win. Moving on. Rafael Filo versus Clayton Carpenter. Dude, this is what I'm talking. A Kimura. Let's go. I love awesome submissions like this. How can you not excited when you see an awesome submission like this? Seeing a Kimura? Dude, I stood up and clapped and went, awesome. Kimura. Yeah, Philo looked super good out there. Outstriked him and then took control on the ground and flipped around and just looked for that Kimura and got it, and that was it. That's how you win a fight, is if you submit him. That was it. It was pretty damn spectacular. I love that. I love that. Fun story about a Kimura. I was on a student film project like 3 weeks ago, and there was a guy there. One of my buddies had mentioned that he had started training jujitsu, and I was like, dude, you want to practice some moves? So I wrapped filming. I go into the other room, and he practiced a Kimura, and there were girls watching, and they don't know jujitsu because everybody knows this that college girls don't know about jujitsu. So they immediately were like, that looks like gay sack, and I was like, really, really? If I put you in a Kimura right now, I would snap your arm and spin it around like a clock hand. Get out of here. Beat it. So the Kimura is awesome. Philo, Kimura, awesome. Moving on to Vitor Petrino versus Thomas Peterson. Listen, I was pissed off. I had Petrino by knockout in my parlay. It was the start of my parlay. And he could have knocked out Peterson at any moment in that fight, but instead he decided to clinch and just hump him against the cage. What the hell was he thinking? He outstriked him like tenfold. I'm sure, and then Peterson landed more. I but I significant strikes. Petrino landed way more, and every single time they would stand and shoot, stand and bang. I don't want to say stand and bang, but that's what it is. Anytime they do stand and bang, Petrino was like, "Oh, I'm gonna knock you out." He had him on his ass once, and then immediately went and was like, "Dude, you know what? How I'm gonna finish this fight? I'm gonna hump you." Awesome, dude. Congrats. Then he did put his ass to sleep immediately at the beginning of the third round, as you should, bro. Thank you for starting off my parlay, which did hit, by the way. Which did hit, by the way. We made some big money. $1 made 10. Yeah, big money. You can call me Moneybag MMA from now. So moving on to, oh Jesus, Bia Mosquito versus Irina Alaskeva. Dude, this was morgues or like some 12-year-old British kid versus the Olympic gold medal steroid user. I don't know. This was, in Futurama when they go to the big lady island? That was what Mosquito looked like. And then it was just like the average British teen. And she's from Russia. It doesn't matter, but she got killed. What do you even say as like her coaches? You're doing good. You do very good. Next round you should try and hit her. Nice. Land a punch. And then Mosquito would just drop her ass, take her to the ground, control her on the ground, and then just choked her out in rear naked choke. And I sitting there, I went, yeah, you know what? That makes sense. When you have a woman who's, I don't know how tall she is, 9 feet 3 inches versus a 12-year-old. Yeah, I'm probably gonna bet on the giant. That was, I mean, awesome chick fight, bro. Awesome chick fight. Totally sick. Moving on. Another Lucas Rocha versus Stuart Nickel. Dude, Nickel just got outclassed. Just got the brakes beat off of him. And that really was it. He just got the shit kicked out of him the entire fight. And then for the audacity at the end, I don't listen. I'm very confident myself. I know I'm the number one guy. But like, if I took like 100 punches to the face and just didn't really have a lot to give back, and at the end they're holding our hands down, and I put my other hand up and I put a number one and say, yeah, I won that fight. Yeah, you might as well just tie me up and throw me in a lake or something like that. That's, you're delusional, bro. Good to have confidence, good to be humble. You need to be humble. You got humbled, dude. Come on now. Good fight. Good. Hey, good fight. Good fight. So, moving on to the first chick fight. Whoa. Victory by punches? Yeah, yet again. That's how you win fights, man. You punch him. Nice job. Polistri. Dude, I don't know if I'm saying this right. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce this chick's name. Carolina Coalachiza. Dude, fire me. Yeah, this was just punch each other, punch each other. Nice, dude. Awesome. They just beat the shit out of each other. It was awesome. Listen, I don't like talking down on WMMA, even though this is the most UFC fan base thing I can think of. At 313 in Vegas, me, my dad, and my brother were there, and I can't remember what chick fight started, but we all got up to go take a piss, and there was a line like wrapped around the building for the urinals, and where you finally get in there, we're pissing. Some guy goes, "What's the line for? Why is there so many people in here?" And a guy like 4 urinals down goes, "Chick fight," and every single person just went, yeah, that sums it up. But these chicks punch the shit out of each other. Awesome. Great fight. Congrats to Julia. Victory by punches. Yeah, it was awesome. I like to see that. I like to see a finish. I like to see a finish, man. Call me a casual, because I am, but like, I like when there's a finish. When somebody gets KO, TKO'd, or submitted, I go, damn, nice, sweet. Speaking of submitted, bro, last fight, or the first fight on the card, which is Luan Lacerda versus Simon Oliveira. Armbar. Awesome. There's some good striking, and then a lot of ground control by Lacerda, and just took his arm and put it in an armbar and pulled it and won the fight. Yeah, it was a good fight. I don't know what to say. I rewatched these just recently again to make this video, but like it's late. I don't remember. I don't remember, man. It was a good fight. Overall, this card was really, really strong. Shout out to Brazil. Shout out to the king, Charles Oliveira. The lion does not concern himself with the opinions of casuals. So, yeah, looking through it all, there was only one, two, three decisions. A lot of finishes. And Charles Oliveira won. And this was probably one of the best weekends ever for me. Probably. Actually, never mind. Charles Oliveira wins. It was my girlfriend's birthday, which is not fun, which is really boring. Charles Oliveira won, and then the next day I had to like take her out to dinner. It's like, what do you want to talk about? It's like, girls. I'm like, listen, Charles Oliveira won. This is the greatest day ever. We went to Dave and Buster's, and they had UFC blind bags there. And we got enough tickets to get one, and I said, you know what? Pick out which one you think has Charles Oliveira in it. And it had John Jones. So we broke up, and I lit her on fire. So yeah, guys, that's my recap of UFC Fight Night Oliveira versus Gamrot. Thank you guys for watching. This is the first video on the channel. Expect recaps of every single fight night, a main event, my thoughts. Probably gonna be more on time and more concise, and actually have details about the fight for the most part. I don't. It's been goddamn 4 days since this fight night, so hey guys, subscribe to my McManus MMA for a lot more. We'll have some special guests. I'll have my dad on. He's been watching since UFC 1, so he actually knows what he's talking about. So thank you guys for listening and watching, and peace.